Once you have your potential customers in your sales funnel, there's 3 distinct ways in which you'll interact with them. 3 different sales channels, we call them. Now, the first way is directly from your salespeople, people who work for you, to those customers on the phone, over email, newsletters, and so forth, right? Your salespeople talking to those potential customers, right? That's called direct sales. And no matter what business you're in, unless you're selling through a retail store, we'll get to that in a second, you should start with direct sales. You should start by talking to as many potential customers as possible, right? Just like you did in Lean Startup and the customer development model, because you really want to understand those customers. And so the direct sales model is the only model you're going to have where you can hear the no's face to face, where you can hear the people say, I can't buy it right now. It's great. I wish I could buy it, but. And it's the stuff that comes after the but that's the key. You really need to understand why customers don't buy in order to change your product or your service or your sales model so that more people will buy. You only get that by having a direct sales force. So they're expensive, right? You're going to have to hire people to be that direct sales force as you grow, and you may not be able to afford that as you grow bigger and bigger. But to start with, you should be that direct sales force, if not you and another salesperson. Now, secondly, we have the indirect sales force model. This is really someone else's sales force, or in the case of a product that goes on a retail shelf, it's the retail stores. So the retail store is the sales path, and you're selling your product to the stores, and they're selling it to the end users, the consumers. Same might be true for your product or service. You might be a component inside someone else's product or service, and you don't get to talk to the customers directly. Or in some cases, there are sales forces out there that are looking for more solutions. They have a sales team, and they want what they say is more solutions in the bag, right? More things for the salesperson to pull out of their bag as they talk to potential customers. The indirect sales model can be really good at getting your product or service out to far more customers far more quickly. That's the upside. The downside is twofold. One, that sales force needs to be paid. And so of the final purchase price, you're going to receive a whole lot less than if you had a direct sales force. Two, and more importantly, I'm going to harp on this one more time, you will not know why people don't buy. You won't know whether it was because in the retail case you were put on the top shelf or the bottom shelf. In the indirect sales force, other person's sales team, you don't know if your product was ever talked about at all. And so while the trade-off is a larger potential number of customers get spoken to, the opposite of that is you just don't know why they don't buy. And so you don't have enough information on what to make changes, what might work. And so your cycle time of making changes and seeing what happens will be slower with an indirect sales force. The third model is something that's rather new, something that happened in the last 20 years, but is becoming more and more prevalent, which is the online sales channel. It's the idea that you can do the marketing to get people to come to your website, and then no human being is involved in closing the sale. That the people will show up on the website and press the button and buy the product without anybody ever talking to them. And while that sounds awesome, again, it comes down to the trade-off of you can reach a large number of people and then you have no interaction, no human being anywhere finding out why most of those people left the site without purchasing, right? You know a whole lot less about the customers. However, again, it's a trade-off. You can reach the whole world, or almost the whole world, all in one shot, all with one marketing effort or a few marketing efforts. And you pay nothing for a sales force, no salespeople at all, to try and close that sale. There are other variants as well, but these are the 3 main sales channels. And again, what you should do now is to think about what you will use ultimately for your full-scale product, and then how you can use a direct sales model with your MVP.